Well, hello and welcome back to Nelly's Nerd Cave. And in today's episode, I'm building a new computer. And it's about time, to be fair. Hello and welcome back to Nelly's Nerd Cave. And since 2020, all I've done is work from home. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love what I do and I love working from home, and in the same year I also bought myself a brand new PC for me to be able to game with and be able to up my gaming skills. Now, 5 years on, I haven't even used this computer for games, and it's just sat there used mainly for my day job, which, if you didn't know, I teach computing online to apprentices. So what I need it to do is basically go on the internet, run Microsoft Teams and some basic virtualization for when I do demonstrations to the apprentices. And of course, plenty of USB for cameras and stream decks, etc. to make the teaching fun. So today I'm looking at building a PC just to do my day job, and then looking at eventually moving my current PC back to purely gaming and video editing for my YouTube channel. So with that, I bought a whole PC on Aliexpress. I know, I can hear you all shouting at the screens. Why, Neil, did you even do that? I know. It can be a little bit dodgy to go on the internet, especially Aliexpress, and do this sort of thing. So I set myself the challenge and decided that if a particular part from a branded company was cheap enough, I would buy it. So, what did I get? The first here is the motherboard. Here is a Gigabyte Aorus Elite B550M. It's a micro ATX motherboard with AM4 Ryzen processors accepted within it. It's a little bit older of a motherboard. Why do I say it's a little bit of an older motherboard? Well, it has DVI. Who is making things with DVI anymore? It's a little bit weird, but it's kind of an entry-level motherboard. It has DDR4, it has plenty of space for a graphics card, and it's perfectly fine. DVI is a little bit of a letdown. I've never had a monitor with DVI. All mine have either been D-sub RGB or HDMI, and lately DisplayPort. The price was fantastic because this is £80. And I could have got some cheaper ones, and I could have got an Intel 1700 platform, but I don't want it all singing, all dancing. Remember, this is just for my day job, and it just needs to do what I need it to do. Next up is the processor, and I decided I would go for something in the middle, so I got this. This is the Ryzen 7 5700X3D. This is a Zen 3 Vermeer, has 8 cores, 16 threads. It's based on their 7nm technology and has a boost clock of 4.1 GHz. I've been looking at one of these on places like Facebook Marketplace, and they were coming in at around £160 here in the UK. And on Amazon, you can buy this brand new for £187. Now, this on AliExpress said it was new. It was £115, and I think this was a relative bargain. Now, when it first arrived and I had a look, there's no signs of thermal paste on there. It did say it was new, like I say. There's no signs at all of it being used. It looks in absolutely pristine condition. Now, this didn't come with any other packaging. This is what you get. And it's a little bit weird that you get the CPU clamshell, but it did come with loads and loads and loads of bubble wrap around it, protecting the whole thing itself. But as a whole, it was a great buy. So with the CPU not coming with a cooler, what did I actually get? I absolutely love Thermalright, and the coolers that they use at the moment are absolutely fantastic. So I got this one. This one is brilliant for the performance. This is the Phantom Spirit 120 SE ARGB. Yes, you heard me, a little bit of ARGB in there. This is going to be a good cooler. It came in at £35, which unfortunately isn't the cheapest. It's about the same as what it is on Amazon, but I know that this will perform well. It's a little bit overkill for this particular CPU, but I'm going to be using this on a daily basis every single day. And I thought buying a CPU cooler for £9 on Aliexpress was a little too cheap, and I wanted something that was going to be robust and would work really well in the long term. So next up is the memory. And what memory did I choose? I chose this lovely type of waifu memory. It's absolutely fantastic. This is by Adata. This is the XPG Spectrix DDR4 and is stated to run at 3600 megahertz. Now, it doesn't look like this on the memory module. This is the memory module we're talking about. It's just plain black with ARGB right on the top. And I got 4 16 gig modules for a total of 64. Yes, I know it's a little bit overkill for most people, but when you're using a lot of virtual machines to demo to learners how to set up things like Active Directory, memory capacity is key when I'm teaching. This came in for a total of all 4 modules at £129, and this particular memory stick sold on Amazon as a single 16 gig stick was £46. Now, I feel that these were a real bargain because they came in at £27 each, but we'll wait to see if they even run at 3600 megahertz. Next up is storage, and the motherboard I chose runs and holds a couple of NVMe drives, so I went looking through Aliexpress, and as we all know, there are some very suspicious looking drives. Now, I wouldn't be silly enough to pick one of these that are shown on screen at this present moment. These are supposed to be Samsung drives, but I've never heard of the 990 Pro. I've seen the 980 ones, so did the research on these, and apparently these are all fake drives, so stay well away. What I did find though, however, is this particular one from Lexar. And Lexar have been making memory for a long time, and again, researching it, I found it to be similar to what was on their website. So I ordered this one. This is the Lexar Aries NM790 NVMe, and it has a total capacity of 2 terabytes. It has write speeds of 6500 megabytes a second and read speeds of 7400 megabytes a second. And again, we'll see if this matches up when we run some bench tests later. It was a little bit pricey at £99, but not as pricey as others. Now, to me, the case is all important, and this one wonderful one popped up when I was searching. I have always loved this particular colour. I've always loved the colour orange, and this is the Jonsbo Z20. It looks absolutely amazing with its wonderful, like, digital effect on the side of it. It's really good. It averaged out at around £84. Now, I was a little bit worried that it coming from China, it wouldn't survive its long journey to the UK, but the case was not dented, the box was not even damaged, and the glass on the side actually came fully intact, and I was very, very shocked. So now one of the more crucial parts of your PC is your power supply, and I was trying to kind of keep things a little bit cheap, so I found something a little fishy. This here is the MetalFish, pun intended, SFX 600 watt in white. It's fully modular, and when this came out, it had some really good reviews. It came in at about £56. I'm not too bothered about the white colour, but at the time I wasn't really looking for anything in particular that was more expensive. The more expensive ones were black, so I just went with a white one. It's very nice. Like I say, it's fully modular in its design, rated at 600 watts. Never heard of the company. We'll see what it performs like. I may actually kind of get rid of this at some point, so this is probably going to be a stopgap. But £56, I didn't think that was bad. And finally, with this whole setup, with the processor not having built-in graphics, what I thought I would do is I thought I would go again on AliExpress, find a relative graphics card, and here we have the MSI RX 5700 with 8 gigs of GDDR6. I thought this would be adequate for my work computer, and it did come in at £128. Again on Amazon, these are selling for about £240, and that was used. Now, this particular one is the miner edition, so this one is designed for mining, but Unlike other mining cards, it does come with the ports on the back. It comes with 4 graphics ports on the back. I think it comes with 3. Yeah, it comes with 3 DisplayPort and 1 HDMI as normal. It looks like a very good card. All the warranty stickers are still intact, so I can't see this being done, repasted or anything. It looks very new. It's got no dust on it whatsoever, but who can say how long this has been used or if it's been used. It did come in a very strange plain brown cardboard box. Now, the miner cards are supposed to have a little bit more oomph to them, but again, we'll see if this works with the computer. If it doesn't, I'll have to go back to the drawing board and find something else and probably keep this and do something with it, something weird and wonderful. But I thought that this was good. Now, the only one thing that I must warn you about is that I did pay for the UK tax on this at 20%, and it was part of the purchase. But when it arrived in the UK, border control actually said that I needed to pay extra tax. And what had happened is the seller had forgotten the Aliexpress ID number, which says I've already paid tax. Fortunately, I was able to apply to Border Force and say, here's the evidence, I've already paid it, and they gave me the tax back. It did take quite a while, but they did it, and I was quite happy. And with all the parts for my PC, let's now do a build montage. Future Neil here. As you may have noticed, I didn't include footage of me installing the graphics card, and that's because the camera I used for facing downwards ran out of memory. Rookie mistake, I know. I'll get a bigger memory card for next time. And now back to past me. Okay, so the PC's built. Let's see if we can get it switched on. Brilliant case to build in. Really enjoyed building this. It was a little bit complicated to take apart and put back together because there's quite a lot of areas you have to take off. You probably didn't see, but I had to take out a bracket for the power supply unit. The power supply unit that can go in here can be either a full-size ATX one or an SFX, it's entirely to you, but you actually get a separate bracket that goes on the SFX. Then you put the main bracket on the top, which is the full ATX size. And I orientated the power supply so the fan is sucking in at the front and exhausting at the top, because it just sits here as the power supply and it comes in and blows out the top. I do think I am going to, hey, there we go, we've got into the boot window. I do think that I'm going to go with a black power supply next time. It is kind of a little bit odd that you see all this white, so if I upgrade it I'm going to go for a black one. And as you can see, it booted up, and I'm now going to install Windows and do some tests for you all.
6 hours later.
Okay, so fully installed. After some issues with Windows not recognising the graphics card properly, which I suddenly kind of came to a wonderful realisation that maybe I'm using the wrong port. Weirdly, this graphics card will only work if I plug it into a display port to start with. Then I can plug it into all the others and it seems to work fine. As for the results of everything, you're going to be able to see on screen that the RAM is actually recognised. It is seen as running at 3600 mega transfers per second, which is really good for RAM that only costs £27. You'll see that the graphics card is also recognised with GPU ID as a RX 5700, which is fantastic. It has GDDR6 RAM as well. And you'll also see that the CPU is recognised as what it was supposed to be, a 5700 X3D, which is really, really cool. So all in all, this is running really quietly. I've installed Windows on it, as you can see. It seems to be working fine. Now I've got the graphics card sorted. And like I said earlier, I think I'm going to change the power supply out to a black one. So the most important part of this is, how much did this cost? It cost around £750. It's not cheap, I know. Parts seem to be the same price no matter where you go, and they all seem to add up anyway. But it's a really lovely PC. It's got this wonderful orange and black theme to it, which I really like, and it's only for work. So with that, I hope you've enjoyed my build video, and until next time, see you later.